This is the fastest front-wheel drive hot hatch in the world. Or, so claims Honda of the Civic Type R, which bested the Nürburgring Nordschleife in a smidge under 7 minutes 45 seconds. That's bloody quick. Just over there is Australia's longest racetrack, the Bend Motorsport Park, and it would be remiss of me to not take the Civic Type R for a quick fang to see what all the fuss is about. This is the 6th generation Honda Civic Type R and the 5th we've been lucky enough to have in Australia. It's priced at $72,600 drive away, no matter where you live, which is up there in the realm of hot hatches. But none, not in front-wheel drive trim anyway, have gone faster around the Nürburgring Nordschleife, where this new Civic Type R holds the record with a blistering time of 7 minutes 44.881 seconds. The Bend Motorsport Park in South Australia is not the Nordschleife, but it does provide the perfect canvas to test the Civic Type R's mettle. We're using the West Circuit today, which at 3.41 kilometres isn't quite the 20.8 kilometres of the Nordschleife, but its 12 corners provide a good blend to showcase the Honda's abilities at racetrack speeds. Power from the Civic Type R comes from Honda's venerable turbocharged 2-litre inline 4-cylinder. It makes 235 kilowatts and 420 newton meters, increases of 8 kilowatts and 20 newton meters over the older model. All that power is sent to the front wheels via a 6-speed manual gearbox. There is no automatic transmission, dual clutch or otherwise available. We drive a lot of performance cars with dual clutch autos, and while they are undoubtedly better and faster at changing gears than you will ever be, there's something satisfying about having to do it yourself. Honda reckons the Civic Type R will hit 100 kilometers an hour from standstill in 5.4 seconds, which, while not as fast as some of its rivals, is still quick enough to grab your attention. Top speed is a claimed 275 kilometers an hour. But it's not just about outright speed in the Civic Type R. Instead, its joy lies in a complete package that allows even the most novice driver, and I include myself amongst them, to extract the best out of not only Honda's quite remarkable hot hatch, but also themselves. So we've previously driven the Civic Type R out on the road, and we've been very impressed with it. But the racetrack really is its natural environment. To find out just how good it is, we're here in Adelaide, or just outside Adelaide, at the Bend Motorsport Park. And we've been putting the Civic Type R through its on-track paces, and I have to say, it's pretty bloody impressive. It's absolutely, it's a rocket ship. I've been here recently in some cars from other brands, and this is equally as impressive as some of those high-end, very expensive cars from European manufacturers around the track. The manual gear shift is an absolute delight, as is the gearbox. You've got a really nice close gate, which makes for easy shifting. You've got rev matching. Where the Civic shines, it's such a beautifully balanced car. You can chuck it around corners, and yeah, the tail might get a little bit waggly, but it never feels like it's out of control. It just goes. The steering feels beautiful. It's just the right amount of weight and tactility. You can really feel what the car is doing underneath you. And when you want to, it unleashes hell, as Russell Crowe once said in The Gladiator. It's just a super quick, tactile car to drive. Tactile, that's the best way to describe it. You can really feel the car. You can feel what it's doing. The suspension is firm, but it's not overly firm. It's perfect for a racetrack. The steering feels fantastic. I think my favorite bit is the gear shift, the manual gear shift, 6-speed manual, with such a beautifully spaced gate. Although it can catch you out. On one of my first runs, I did go from 2nd to 5th. That's how close the gate is. So you need to be really precise with your shifts, which is no bad thing, because it focuses you and it makes you concentrate. Chucking it around some corners is just delightful. So much balance, and then so much pull out of the corners. The torque curve on this has been improved according to Honda, and you can really feel it when you give it some stick out of corners. And the brakes too, like we've been pounding around all morning at race car speeds, and there's not the slightest hint of brake fade. They're just really strong. Good pedal feel. There we go. A little bit of tyre squeal from the back, which is not uncontrollable. It's a very forgiving car. It signals what it's doing early, and that gives you time to adjust your inputs and keep things on the track. I'm not pushing this lap. This is very much a exploration lap, but believe me, all morning I have been pushing it, and I just don't want to get out. It's that much fun. I'm cruising down the main straight here at about 115 kilometers an hour on my hot laps. We were well over 200 k's an hour, and then braking quite late at the 150 meter mark for a right-hander, which is a third gear right-hander that leads into a third gear left. And those changes, those rapid changes of directions just do not ruffle it at all. You know, we've been in some cars where sudden changes of direction can really unsettle it, but the Civic Type R just goes exactly where you want it to, with intent, with meaning, with dare I say, vigor. The sound of that 2.4 litre is when you really up it for the rent, as they say in motorsport, is it's intoxicating. The Civic Type R just gobbles this stuff up with absolute poise. And sadly, after about 3 hours of pounding the track at the Bend Motorsport Park, this will be my swan song in the Civic Type R, and I have to say it's super impressive. The way it handles, the power delivery, the braking, the steering, the beautifully tactile gear shift. It's, yeah, I didn't think I'd come away this impressed, but I have.
The Honda Civic Type R is simply one of the best hot hatches available today. Sure, there are faster hot hatches out there, and there are others which trade on noise and the romance of combustion. But none in my experience have been as resolved and as capable as this Type R in instilling a confidence in me I didn't know I had. It's a remarkable piece of engineering, and one that should definitely be on your shortlist if you're in the market for a hot hatch. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay up to date with all of Drive's content. And if you want to know more about the Honda Civic Type R, you can read my written review at Drive.com.au.